All right, we're recording now. Yep. What the primary things in the order parts? Not really going to talk too much about that because you have to have your items, the part numbers set up as item numbers in the system, and I don't think you guys are at that point yet, but we can get there. But I want to focus mainly on the 1 and 2. Did I hear somebody start to say, yeah, we do have those set up in the system, or?
Oh no, we don't.
Okay, all right. Then I'm going to focus on we'll eat this elephant one bite at a time. So option number 1 is about checking to see what's in the store. So I'm going to take option 1 and show you what's changed since the last time we looked at this. And we're recording this, so if I find a way to get the video, we'll get the video up so you guys can look at it and have a point of reference too. But you take option 1 to edit or to do the audit, and then you will choose a store. So it says, in the red, it says click the button beside the customer to select or press exit for all customers. Well, on this one, we need to choose a customer to be of any use. So I looked at your data this morning. I saw there was a customer out there called DAC Service Station that has some equipment. So let's just pick on them for a second. So if I click on the button beside DAC, so I typed in part of DAC's name up the top to find them. I'll click the little radio button beside DAC Service Station. And now it shows me a list of all the equipment items that are set up in your system at this point. So if I use so I have some buttons up here to use, and if I'm looking for a particular machine, if I know the item number or the description, I can find it that way. So let's say something that starts with CAP. I'm not finding that, but you can position through. But the main thing is, here's all the equipment items you guys have set up. So if I use the next page or the next button, I can scroll through because there are more than can fit, like on a small device on a single page. So next just rolls you through, and if you get to the end of the list, you hit next, you'll see this little guy come over, just roll up or roll down past the first or last record. So that's just a little indication. So I'm going to go back. So what we're trying to do here is pick the machine that we're trying to audit. So if you go in the store and you see that they have this coffee auto pour over B3, if they have that piece of equipment, the first thing that's going to jump out now that we've made this recent revision is there's no serial number here. So we don't have a record of that piece of equipment in the store because there would be a serial number out here to the right where I'm pointing. But look at the cappuccino machine. There is a serial number out here beside it. So the suggestion that we had that was made by another distributor using this, they said, just let us know what you have on record out there beside it. So if we go in and we're checking that store, we can immediately see there is a serial number or there isn't. And if the serial number is correct, then we don't need to capture it again because we've got it. So you have that. So at DAC's right now, we see that they have on record, we have them having this cappuccino machine with that serial number. And if I hit next, I can page ahead and hit next again and hit next again. And you'll get out here and you'll see that they also have this coffee maker, this bun coffee maker, because there's a serial number here for that. So if we saw this serial number and we pulled the equipment out and looked on the back and said, that serial number is just wrong. It's wrong. Then this would be an opportunity to correct that mistake in the serial number. So if I click the little radio button beside it, it's going to pull up. Now, the other thing that the distributor said is if you have a serial number, default it into these spots so I don't have to key it again. But obviously, if it's incorrect, you would change the password, or pardon me, the serial number to be to what you're seeing actually on the equipment, and you would change it in both spots, and you would hit the submit button. If I hit submit here, another change that was made is if it's the same and there's no change, I don't write another tracking record out there, so we don't start to fill up with a lot of repetitive data. So if I hit submit, it's just going to say, confirm, even though I didn't change anything, and it's going to go ahead, and then it's going to ask me, are there more equipment serial numbers to enter? So if I say yes, there's more gear in this store, so I'm going to say yes to that and hit submit, and it brings back up to let me choose items again. So I'm kind of in a loop here, and I can page on ahead, and I can find another item, and maybe this Nimco roller, if I click that, and now there's no serial number on record, so there's a place to enter the serial number and to re-enter the serial number to make sure we didn't make a keystroke error. And when you hit submit, it'll write that tracking record out into the system to keep, for our records of where things are. Since I'm not entering anything, I'm going to hit exit. So submit basically says update things, and exit says I don't really want to do that. So when I say exit, it brings me back here. It's still asking me the question: Are there more serial numbers? And it knows I answered that question previously with a Y. So if I just hit submit again, it'll take me back in. I'm still in my loop of looking for things. Can next and previous roll me through. If you don't choose an item when you're here, this is what you will see. So I get in here, it's asking me to choose an item. I say, well, I don't really see what I need, or I'm having second thoughts about it. So I'm going to hit exit to just go back. And it says, no item was selected. Do you want to try again? So if I answer yes to that, it takes me back into that list of items. If I'm done and I don't want to audit any more things in this store, at least not at this point, I can say no and hit the submit button, and it pops me back to my menu. So option one, just to recap, is all about capturing serial numbers, updating serial numbers that you find to be in error, things of that nature, and it's writing our log out there. So when you guys print that F18 list again the next time, or you print the list that shows just gear in that store, that's going to be whatever you update or change is going to be reflected in there as soon as you do that. Option number two was the other one that we were highly interested in. So if I take a 2, and basically it's about starting a service call or reviewing equipment that's in the store and checking to see if they're buying products from you guys to support that gear. So I'm going to put a 2 in, hit the submit button. And so it comes up for dies because I still selected dies. So I'm still working with that particular customer while I'm in there. So this page has also been changed to reflect what is in the store and what we believe to be the serial numbers for that gear. So right on here, so you can see review and see if there's an issue. Remember our drop down, I can hit the continue button, but there's a little drop down, a little arrow to interact. So I could say, let's look at related products and their moves, or start a service call, or review a service call that I've already entered, I think today. So let's just walk through these each as we go. So related products. So remember, I'm on the drop down by the cappuccino machine. So let's look at related products and see what that does. So these are the items that you guys have associated with the cappuccino machine. So once again, the next and previous buttons scroll us through some things. And so we just have a hand. So I hit next and I got to the end of the line. It's just telling me you're at the end. So I can do previous. And we're defaulting here to, I think that's 45 days back in history, or maybe something along those lines. But you can change these dates in here. So if we wanted to key a different date in, so let's go back to October the 10th of 2018. If you change the date, hit the submit button. That basically it says, you know, it refreshes the screen. And so now it's looked back to that previous date and it's recalculated some numbers here. And these are, I'm noticing that these are a little jammed up, and I think I want to do some, I know I want to do some revision to that, because basically it's $61 in sales, it's $27.62 in profit, and they bought 2 of those, of the cappuccino French vanilla, since October the 18th of last year. So a little light on the usage for dyes service station. But that's what this page is designed to show you, the products they're buying. I see we've got some tidy up that could happen down here. We have some items set up that probably are no longer in the system because there's not an item description, so that will need some attention. If I hit exit and go back, you'll see it spinning up there. So it takes me back to where I just came through the front door. So let's look at this coffee maker, this bun coffee maker. Look related products again. And we really don't have any related products set up for this yet. So there's a way to copy those from one similar machine to another. So there's definitely an issue here getting some associated products in with that particular thing. So there's some homework to do there. So that's drop downs looking at product usage. If we use the drop down to start a service call, and it's going to bring up our little friendly little guy here, and there's this little drop down up here. If you want to say you're in here doing from an equipment audit and you want to make some service log notes, you can do that, but you can just let this thing default to blank. So a place to put notes. So whatever kind of notes you want to put in there. You see that mine is remembering previous text, but typically that's probably not going to be that useful. When you get the entry made, you can hit submit. Or if you start one and you say, well, no, I didn't really mean to do that, I want to delete that, but I'm going to hit submit. It says, oh, are you sure? And I'm going to say, okay. And so it's done that. Now, if I go back in here, and it's going to take me right back to that same entry. So start a service call, it remembers that I just made this entry in here, so it's going to pull that back up. So you see how that works. It says start a service call. Let's look at the review service log option. And basically that's going to, if you do multiple things, multiple pieces of gear, this shows you what you did during the course of that call. You see there's a start and date time in there, at least for making those entries. And there's a drop down here if I need to. So you would see, if you had multiples, you would see all the entries that were just made. You could get back to them. If you want to amend one of them, you need to change it, you can use the drop down and use edit, and you hit submit to pull it up, and that takes you right back into it. So
now, does that page on this page scroll down any if we needed more room on that service description?
At this point, no. I mean, that's all there is. So you have to be economical in what you plug in there. If you guys get into it and you say, yo, this is just not enough text, when you start using it, let me know. Nobody's told me up to now that it's not enough text, but it is limited at this point. So, but we could expand it if we need to.
Yeah, because I'm thinking even if you start out at 6 as opposed to 4, it gives you a little bit more. I just don't know. That's barely a paragraph, and sometimes you know, it can get kind of wordy if you're trying to give a good description.
Okay, I'm going to make a note about that too here on my iPad. Service description, more characters, please. Yeah, we could probably do like an extra, you know, something to allow you to roll down and add more stuff. So I'll look into all that for you guys. Good point. Glad you brought that up. So I've got this guy in here, and because I set that up, if I get over here and look on your system just to show you that things are real time, if I look at my service log and we put today's date in, so back at the office, even though you're out in the field doing this, all this stuff is getting updated in real time. So this is where you can come back and review it here and print. And the option I took to see that, which I will also kind of walk through each of these in my cheat sheet recap. But basically, that's display equipment service log. So you can do that, and you can commit this. You can print it if you need to, but you can view it on screen. Sometimes that's if you just quick want to look something up. That's a good spot to go do that. What I'm going to do though is, since I'm kind of playing around and it's your live data, is I'm going to edit this entry and hit submit and pull it up, and then I'm going to hit the delete button, and it's going to say, are you sure? And I'm going to say, yes, I am sure. And so now it's removed that, so you'll see the no data to display because I came in from the review side and I've just erased that entry. So that's how you get rid of something if you start to do something and you have second thoughts about it. So if I hit exit, I go back to here. If I hit continue, actually continues me back to where I came in the front door. So those are kind of the nuts and bolts pieces to audit and to check store usage and do a service call. It should be hopefully pretty straightforward for you guys. Now you may get in there if you need to enter more text, and there may be some issues that we come up with, but operationally to run it the way it sits right now should be fairly straightforward, I hope, for you guys. When you're done, good practice before you leave that store is just to do the 9 to quit, hit the submit button. Basically that logs you off. And so then you move on to the next location. You can click that button again, log in with your credentials. This is my little test account, and ready to go again. Questions?
Not so far. Like I said, Jeff has gotten it pretty well in hand.
Okay.
But he has a couple questions for you, though.
Okay.
Harlan,
What? Yeah.
On the main system, you know how like something's associated with a product or a machine, and there's stuff on there that we don't want it to be associated with. How do
Yes.
I remove those? Like,
Okay.
I'll give you let's see, count number.
Okay.
It's actually, we can go to dyes. Is that what this one is? Is that the above one?
Okay. So, all right, I'm going to go to dyes.
No, we'll do, it's this one that's underneath because that's puffs. You need a customer number?
Well, I F4 search. Can you see my screen? I F4 search for dyes. So I'm looking at dyes and the stuff that's in there.
This is good though. Let's do a different one. How about
Okay.
You want me to give you a customer number, or you want the machine?
Whichever you want. Either serial or you can give me the customer number. Or I can press F4 and just search for the customer too if you tell me their name.
A Maple First Stop. Yep,
all right. So I'm going to come down here and select Maple First Stop with an X.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So here we are.
Yep.
Now, what is this just wrong? That piece of gear is not at that store, or what do we want to do?
That's right, but when you look underneath on my printout, it shows stuff that's associated with them and what they've been buying,
Mm-hmm.
and there's stuff on there we wanted to try to take off.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sandwich bags and basically just want to see the products that go with the machine.
Right. Okay. Well, then we want to really look in a different spot for that. And so what we want to do is we want to do work with equipment,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to put. I just copied and pasted that item number. I think maybe I did.
884. Yep, that's it.
Okay. So there it is down here. So to get rid of some equipment, or items. So a 5 will bring up the list of things that are associated with that alligator ice machine.
Okay.
And now remember, the associated products are for ABL as a whole. For alligator ice, it's not just specific to one store. It's just, everything that's eligible.
Right.
But to remove something down here, where's an item that you want to remove? Do you have? I know you have one in mind.
On this printout underneath it shows that they bought sandwich bags and and toilet tissue and stuff that's not related to the bun.
Okay, yeah. Yes, that would.
So if you put a 5 in front of the alligator ice machine, will it show you everything associated with that?
Correct. And so that's what it. So I went here. I found the alligator ice machine. Come down here, do the 5 beside, and then like the cups and everything. Yeah, you put a minus. So let's see, foil, zip. What the freezer bags probably are not a good candidate. Actually, on this it just says put a D beside it. So if I put a D beside Ziploc, and I press enter.
Okay.
It's going to come and say, are you sure you want to delete this? And it defaults to a no in case you did that by mistake. And I'm going to say yes. I want to remove Ziploc. So we really want the Ziploc freezer bags to go, correct? Because I can't imagine how that would apply to a bun. Right?
Okay. Yep.
So press enter, and that one's gone. So you can come down here. All of them that you want to do, like the wax paper, you can put D's beside all the ones that you want to get rid of, and it'll just queue them up.
Okay.
And then when you press enter, and you start saying yes to the questions, and hopefully all these that I marked are ones that we do want to get rid of because I'm zapping them. So it takes a little bit of time, but so just to recap, option number 1 from the menu has all the equipment items, and then a 5 beside that brings up the associated products.
Okay.
And then to remove something, you use the D, and it will go away. And to add something, you press F10 to add a product. If you need to add another product in there. I'm going to look at something here while we're in here looking at this. See, I think those items are coming back because we have this entry in here set up. That paper and plastics that class 2190 is associated. And so even though I remove those, they will come back when the end of day is closed. So what I'm going to remove that association for this class.
Okay.
And I think we had some problems with that because it did not leave. And I think I had to find a different way to remove those. So I think that's why those things are coming back to haunt you, because that's still in there from our session playing around. So delete sales class. I will get that squared up as soon as we're done. Get rid of that. I can't remember what it was exactly. How I had to go about that. It should just be able to do it from where we were at, but It's still in there, so we definitely want to get rid of that. It's actually on my system, I can remove them, but on your system, I think that file that's in use is in use by a web console or something, and that's why it's not letting me remove that record. It's an environmental thing between our development system and actually what's going on in the real world in your operation up there. But I'll get that sorted out for you. But to remove, if things are popping up unexpectedly in here in this list of items. So if I go in, things associated with this alligator ice, if things just keep coming back, then it's probably something that's associated at a class level, like our paper and plastics keeps putting that stuff back in there until we get this reference to it removed. Those things will come back. So, and I'll work on getting that stuff taken care of. But those are the two things to look for. A 5 beside an item to show the associated products. And then if things are, it never hurts when you're in there looking at that stuff to do the F17. If things are popping in that you're saying, well, why is that coming back? That would be why. And also the other thing I wanted to mention is, you can copy the associated products from one machine. So if I have a Bun Ultra 2 and maybe I got another, this is alligator ice, but say I have another alligator ice type machine and the associated products are similar between those, rather than set them up all over again, you can take one that you've taken the time to set up and manage and press F15, and then you can copy the stuff like here I was on alligator ice. If I wanted to copy its items to this Nimco food, I could select that and it would just copy all those things over. So you don't have to repetitively do it machine by machine if there's similarity, or if say 80% of the stuff is similar between two machines, so you could copy it all over and then remove the things the 20% that don't apply. So you can play around with that to hopefully speed things up as far as getting products associated with pieces of gear. All right, so that was a long answer to your question. So Jeff, I bet you have another question.
That's the one I had. That's what I wanted to know how to.
Now, is it smarter to print it on a larger page or print it on the 11 by 7?
Yeah, if we wanted to stretch, make it on basically easier to read on a longer sheet.
Yeah, if you, by default, when you run the list, any of these lists in here, it's going to, it's probably going to run on whatever your default paper is that you have on that particular printer. So it should be a bigger page. I'm thinking, not knowing what paper you have loaded, but it should be your typical paper size.
Right, the 11 by, we have 11 by 7 or 11 by 8.5. We have that one. I was wondering if we could run a bigger page.
Or what, print the same.
Or this is all, well, this is maybe all what we would need, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
If you run it and something is, and you're not happy with the way it fills out the page or something like that, let me know. Maybe scan a sheet of it so I can see what it looks like, and we'll see if we can make some adjustments. I haven't had anybody make that comment, so feel like we're not going to
down, have it going across.
Yeah. Kind of like an Excel sheet.
Oh, okay. The other thing I'm thinking about is some of these things lend themselves to do, like speaking of the Excel sheet, to do that. If you've got a particular thing that you say, well, this is only available on a printer report, could you just do it in the Excel sheet? Let me know that, because then we will add that capability in there. There are some of these things in here, like the F8 list here, equipment in the store, will do a CSV file that you can open in Excel.
Okay. Well, yeah, but if you can add an Excel sheet to this program, that'll be good.
Yeah.
That way it will make it easy for everyone to read, as opposed to the report.
Yep.
So if you could add that, that'll be.
Okay. Yeah, just to show you, like if I go back and pick on dies again, just because I show you what should happen in there. And F8 is equipment in the store. And so I think that's all I need. So if I press F8 here, I told it to email a CSV file. So it's going to ask me for an email address that I want to send it to. And I think I tried this last time and I never got the email. Seems like I had that memory, so maybe I did not. Maybe my credentials aren't set up in there for it. We'll find out here in a sec. See, I'm not getting the email, but I should. What you guys could do for me is try that option and see that you get the email. My user ID of CDR1, it must not be enabled for email on your system. I need to look at that and see, but you guys should be able to use option 3. And any of those reports where you're getting a printer report, if you let me know which report it is, actually you can just look at the name in the upper left-hand corner or where you're running it from. If you'd like to have it in the CSV, then we'll add that to our to-do list and get that done. That'll make it life simpler for everybody to do that.
Right. If you could add that to the list automatically for all the items, that'll be good.
Okay. All right. So just all of them. Well, that's even easier. All right. So I'm making a note about that too.
Yeah.
CSV.
Or even when the president of our company goes into it, he can just print an Excel sheet and have everything there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I made a note of that, so we'll be working on that. So let's see where we are. Let's recap. So we know we have some cleanup that needs to happen. If you guys can run that list and look at it, it was only 11 pages, I think. So, and I will look at my programs that I have here to like just go through and do some sweeping change type cleanup, like where the item number, the equipment item number is 0. Obviously, that's junk. And the ones that have a serial number that's questionable, like these, I don't know if that's a mistake or for real, but you guys could make an entry to correct that if that's not a true serial number. Not sure about that. Some of them are obviously like the one that had a question mark, but pretty much it's pretty clean looking to me. So that's good, because I have imported some and it's just, in the past for other companies, it's not as clean as yours. Let's just put it that way. So you guys are running looks like pretty tight ship already. So we just try to make it a little bit better.
Thank you.
Yep. So we have the list. I owe you a cheat sheet. I'm going to look into CSV stuff. That's going to take me a little time, and I may deliver that in bits and pieces. Not every report all at once, but some of the reports I think are the key ones. And we'll try to get you a video of the previous session and of this session too, just so we have a point of reference to go back to. Other than that, questions, comments, concerns?
No, we've got to keep working through it, and because Jeff was trying to print it out, and Don couldn't get it to him, so he worked out how to print himself. So so it's coming slowly but surely. So
okay,
and then I'll have him tutor me on that once he gets all that down pat. Yeah, so for the most part, the system seems to be working the way we need it to work. We just got to clean up
good.
items.
Yep, and I'm sure as the process goes along, but between the input I'm getting from you guys, a couple other distributors, we're just going to make it better with each gyration of it. So do we want to schedule another follow-up session, or do you guys just want to see how things are going for a bit, or we can do either one?
Well, why don't we work it for this time, a couple of weeks? Why don't we work it for a month, and let's come March.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're looking at in March.
All right. That sounds good. Let's see. Let's just look at some dates here for March.
I'm looking at March right now. Let's see here. Yeah, the end of March.
27.
Oh no. That's the week of the trade. Yeah, let's go with that. Can we look at the 21st? Well, 20th. Let's stay with the 20th.
Okay.
Same time if we can.
Yep. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Yep. By that time, I think Jeff will have this down pat, and maybe he can run through it and see if you see anything that we should be doing differently. Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds really good.
Well, in the meantime, as soon as you get us the cheat sheet, so I need to use it more than him as far as cheat sheet wise, and then the video, that'll be great.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, the videos, I just got to figure out a good way to get them sent to you.
How soon do you think we can get the one portion with the oh my goodness, with the longer sheets? How soon can we get that set up?
I'm going to try it.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I heard somebody say I'm going to try it, and so
yeah, I'm going to try to email that file.
Okay.
And then see if we can print it on.
Okay. See if we can do a spreadsheet with that.
Yeah.
But now you said you're going to set them all up like that. I was wondering how soon we can get the spreadsheet set up.
Yeah, I will fold that into our work. It's probably going to take me a week or two to get some of that stuff done and installed and delivered on your system. But I would like to get it just put to rest. And I'm going to go talk to Cody because he's good at doing the spreadsheet stuff from a printed report. So yeah, if I get him doing it and he doesn't get distracted, he might get it done even quicker. But it's going to be probably a week anyway.
Okay. And that's fine.
Okay.
We'll report and hopefully everything will be set. We'll get all in, so we'll have a cheat sheet and all that. And by the time we meet next time, everything will be good.
Yep. Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right. And any other questions for us? We the serial numbers, and that's it then, right?
Yep,
So
that's right.
I believe that Jeff has another session he wants to send over for you guys to import.
Yeah, new stuff.
Okay.
Some new stuff. Not like the other ones, but it'll be a few more accounts that we need to set up for you.
Okay, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good to get that, and we'll get that incorporated and plugged in too. Okay. And then you guys, when we get it imported, we'll just let you know, hey, we processed it, and you can go run your list again and see what comes out.
Sounds good. I appreciate that.
All right. Hey, thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
All right, you too. All right, bye-bye.